It's almost time I renew the wardrobe again. Instead of keeping the old, bland clothes as always. Well, 23 years is long enough, I guess. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. I'm thinking. Gotta get in deep. Inside out. Right side in. I'm thinking about something. Maybe it's one of my Da Vinci style ideas coming into reality. Artistic. The textures. The patterns. The colors. Even down to the zipper. It stands out in a certain perspective. You're probably thinking to yourself as you're watching the video, what's Da Vinci up to now? I had this idea a while back. Almost as if the reason why my wardrobe never changes half the time. And I have a big one. I do. But I always like a redo every now and then. I do. As much as possible. I like flashy clothes. I do. I love patterns, textures, colors, materiality, the way it feels, the way it looks. But there's something different about what I do with it, though. Probably a way that you thought of before. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's almost like the art of seduction to keep you going and keeping things rolling. It's weird. It's like every time I put on a shirt like this, and I've had it for about 11 years, every time I put this thing on, I look at myself and think, why don't you just donate it, trash it, get rid of it? You've had it for so long. It looks so bland. Same thing goes for all these. Like this one. Had it since about 2001. Yeah, I know you're laughing. You are. Had this one since about 98. Even has a hole in the top now. Wear and tear. I'm thinking about this though. Every time I try to redo my wardrobe and go out and just shell out a crap load of money for more stylish clothes, it's almost as if the things that I do so many light in a different way. I'm thinking. Think with me for a minute. Come on. Think about this. I'm thinking. Thought about this about a week ago when I was hanging up the clothes after I dried them. And they were in a specific order, specific pattern, intertwined with one another, and it looked more attractive. And it made me want to keep them longer. Hope you're understanding where I'm coming from, where I'm looking towards. The future, I guess. When it comes to the wardrobe, think about it. I mean, it's like when you wear it as a singular object, you don't desire it. If it's so old, so bland. But then you combine it with something else that you've worn before, and the colors match up. And you see the bigger picture in one single frame. And it looks more attractive. So therefore it makes me keep it longer. Because I desire what it looks like. I mean, what happens if I take this one? What happens if I take this one and move it over here? Will my soul still desire it? Will it think it's worthy of keeping? What if I take the yellow one and put it right here, in between these colors, patterns, textures? Will it make me not desire it? Because it doesn't fit right within the layers. Dang, that looks pretty tight right there. Look at that. Makes me want to keep all four of these. But what if I take... Now there's a bland little section right here. What if I take the orange one and put it in between here? I know you're going all crazy in your seat, saying Da Vinci stumbled onto something else when it comes to understanding life and desires and everything else. I mean, it's just a split second. That's it. An emotion built it inside as you're looking at something happen in real time. Like, what if you saw two people walking down the road and they're wearing two different, whatever, two different outfits, and you see them converge as one at one single moment? Would they seem more attractive? Would they seem less attractive? What if you were at the airport and saw all these colors, all these patterns and stuff just intertwining with each other from a distance? Much better than the olden days, like back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s, where every person wore the same colored crap. Everybody wore suits. You go to a baseball game back in the 20s, everybody had a suit on. Yeah. I'm thinking about something, though, when it comes to the wardrobe. That's an attractive angle right there. Makes me want to keep all of them. Again. Even longer. For another week. Until I do it all again. Dang, it's cold in here. Thinking always. No wonder I haven't worn these things in so long. Because they're all jumbled together. The colors are all the same just about. What if I mix the colors up? Like this little zone here, making it more attractive to my desires when it comes to art within the clothing that I wear. That's a good mix right there. Look at that. 3 different colors. Yeah, right next to each other. That's bland. Need to move that around a little bit. Maybe you can do this too to try to hang on to your clothes more. I mean, that needs to be changed around. Just like the dry cleaning though. No wonder the wardrobe, the dry cleaning clothes and the dress shirts have diminished over the years. Maybe it's because the way that they hang them up at the dry cleaners. And I look at it and I'm like, why do I still have these things? They look so bland. But then it's backwards. Then I pull out one shirt. And then I realize how beautiful it is and how lucky I am that I hung on to it. What if I could tell the dry cleaner to do that right now, later on, next time I go? I mean, that's a good combination right there. Look at that. That's a great combination. Right next to each other. All the differences combined into one single bunch. Now this one needs some work. What if I did that? You think Da Vinci was crazy? Excuse my sinuses. You would think I was crazy if I went out to some dry cleaner and had some list about what order to put the shirts in to make it more attractive. To my desires, that is. To make me realize how lucky I am to have such a beautiful item. And 95% of these dress shirts I got from Goodwill. Yeah, that's a good bunch right there. Has me thinking about something. Yeah, this batch over here needs some work. It's all the same kind of tones and colors. Yeah, now you're gonna say, but then she turned the receipt around. It's got your name on it. That's why I had to black out that image a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, look at that. I'm a man of style for real, though. I wish I could take it a little bit further within my life. I wish I could. I wish I had the time. But it's fun to play this game of mine. It is. What is pants at for the Christmas party? Hope they didn't forget that. Beautiful. Yeah, but a long time ago, I never told you this story before, but back one of my first jobs when I was in high school. Summer break one year when I was like 17 years old. When I was like 17 years old, I had to get a summer job. And I was at the grand opening of Grand Harbor Imports in Dunwoody. Grand Harbor Imports back in like 97. 96 or something like that. And I had to get a summer job. Either it was right after high school, or I think it was right after high school. It had to be. Because I had to walk there every single day. Didn't have a car or anything like that. Even at that age, even graduating high school, didn't even have a car. I had to walk everywhere. I'll never forget it though. Grand opening of Grand Harbor. They haven't even set the store up, and they needed a temporary employee to help unpack boxes and stock everything to get the store ready for the opening. And I'll never forget it. You talk about a cool job. But it was a different kind of job. They gave me a different kind of assignment after I was there for like a week. I was unpacking boxes. You know, all the paintings, all that kind of stuff. All the fancy decorations, the home decor, the furniture. And I was helping this hot brunette. Had to be in her late 30s. Forgot her name, Christy, something like that. And then the store manager and an African-American gentleman. All us in the store. Unpacking boxes and stuff. And they had no idea where to put all this stuff. And they were setting up shelves, all that kind of craziness in there. And so I just started doing my thing. I started organizing things in a different way. I started designing the store. And then they noticed what I was doing. I was orienting everything, designing the layout of all that stuff. And then they gave me the assignment. They said, you're going to be the interior designer from now on until the store opening. So I did that for about 2.5 months. Kept coming back. They wanted me to place things perfectly. You know, all the fancy stuff, the fabric and stuff, I would be draping all over the place. Curtains. All the paintings were specifically placed to where I designed it to be. Never really told anybody that story. Probably one of the best jobs I've ever had. At 17 years old. And all I was supposed to do was just put up shelving Empty out the boxes, pick up all the styrofoam pieces, you know, the peanuts, all that kind of stuff that came flying out of the box. Empty out the truckloads as they came through with merchandise and log down what was broken. I would just grab something and look at it in a different degree of understanding and just start placing it. Let me go ahead and try that at Goodwill one time. How about that? You talk about a different kind of adventure. I kind of laid off doing that though. Going to Goodwill. You know how they have all the clothes and stuff like that? All the decor. Just laid out. No specific design. No specific orientation. Nothing like that. They just throw it out there. But what if it was designed in a certain way? Like they have all the clothes, all the clothing. Like all the greens, all the blues, all the dress shirts, all the sweaters, all the jackets. But everything is organized by color. What if I switched things up? What if I snuck in there one day to a Goodwill and stayed in there for about 2 hours and just picked up shirts and just reorganized them in a different manner and step back and look at a bigger picture? Would it be more attractive? Would it draw the crowd to see things as a whole? What about the home decor? What if I just reorganized things in a different way on the shelf? Like that one time last week or the week before last. We went to that one Goodwill and I said something was missing. It was the teddy bears that were supposed to be the nativity scene. And there was, I think Mother Mary was missing. And she was somewhere else in the store. I had to go find her. And I placed her back in her rightful spot. Now I bet they're gone. I bet somebody grabbed them all. But maybe no one did in the beginning because they weren't complete. The set wasn't complete until we found it. Until we found the final piece. Maybe I should think about redesigning some of this right here. For real though, it's nothing like that cobalt blue. And other things. But I told you this before, this place looks like a funeral home. It does. Looks like a funeral home. But I'm a fan of decor. It's always been my style to live in a luxurious manner. Dang, look at that. Crap. I always have to look at the bigger picture. Maybe you can design the light within your place by just placing things in a specific location, particular location. And the light will help out the design of it all. Even foreground and background. Will it be more attractive or less attractive? Yeah, but it looks like a funeral home for real. Half the time when I walk up in here. And trust me, I have not been to many funeral homes in my life. I can't remember the last time I went to one. Because I'm not a fan of death. But talking about looking like a funeral home. I love modern art. I do. I strive to design it. Do it. Create it. But there was something about this kind of living right here that I could never get away from. I don't know where I got this. My family's always been poor. We had nothing at all. Until I got out, that is. And then I was able to design and live the way I always kind of knew. Yeah, you can think about me what you want, though. You can. But I've had a lot of this stuff for more than 20 years. I started buying this kind of stuff when I was barely 20 years old. Funeral home. But how can I combine such living, the way I live now, how can I combine it to make it equal? And add some modern accents with it to make it match right. That's why I need my studio back. A larger living space, where I have a living space like this. And then everything else is just my art, my geology, my mapping, cartography, photography. Everything combined, intertwined into one single living space. Don't know how long that's going to take to get. I'm already ancient as it is. Dang. Stuck to the mantle. Because I never move anything. Nothing like that changed, though. Like a funeral home. Blah. But it's so beautiful, though. As you always hear me say, it's like the good old days. I mean, there's modern art right there, built inside of this thing. Movement of the light. You're going to say, Da Vinci, you're high again. No. I'm playing with the light. It's not working right. But the last thing I want is this place to look like a funeral home. Yeah. I know I bring you into my life every now and then to show you a different side of me. Wonder what the future is going to be like. Nothing like living for the future. You cannot go back in time. You can't do it. Only the Almighty can, with the memories that they collect, gathered by you in your soul. And also the only thing else. Video and pictures, of course. The only way to go back in time. If I were you, I'd be snapping 10,000 pictures a day. And recording 3 hours of video a day. Maybe God's mad at that. Maybe they're mad because we can actually record time and go backwards. To help us, remember the past. To help build for the future. What am I going to do now? I'm always into that art, though. How am I going to combine it? But everything is so modern in a different sense. It is. It's the way I've always understood things. Everything is modern. You just have to see it at a different scale, different angle to see it. Even though it looks elegant, there's modern deep down inside. Maybe the way the light hits it, the contrast. You get close in, you don't see something elegant, you see something else. You see something at an angle. Something abstracted. I don't know what your advice would be to help me out. I love the art, though. Gotta get back into creation. That's why I'm laying off. Look at it, it's such a beautiful day out there today. 39 right now, late November. And I have to lay off going out for a while because I have to get back in the game of creating art, painting, sculpture. But I have way too much backed up, way too much going on. I mean, I thought about spray painting this thing today. This large dashboard, so it doesn't look like a dashboard. And complete it later. Item's worth $7.6 million. But when? In the future, of course. But things like this. Absolutely love making the art. Even collecting it. Even snapping the art pictures. Every time I come in here, I always feel like punching myself in the face. 'Cause I'm not doing like I used to. But I did for a reason. I told you that before. What I believe about art. What I think about art these days. If you make it too perfect, why don't you just snap a picture? But always strive for perfection. But maybe perfection is the equilibrium. The equality of it all. Yeah, these days when I take pictures, I turn them into paintings and make them abstracted a little bit to bring in equality within the picture. So therefore, it's not really a picture. It's a piece of art. Dang. All this stuff I desire to work on and design into something else. Even started preparing for it. Got the sandpaper. Got the JB Weld. Got all that kind of stuff. Play around with it later. Gotta get back to my writing. My writings. Gotta get back to making the videos. Well, I'm constantly making videos. But I definitely miss that though. I'm thinking at the moment. I mean, it's almost like I have to organize it first. Build the foundation before I can even get started. Might take 3 weeks. But one thing tells me that I have to just be myself. Not copy anybody else. Not follow somebody else. Just do what the soul says. That's what I have to remember. Because I know my paintings these days are kind of trashy. I haven't painted in over 9 years. But there's something about the paintings that I did. Very abstract. With a sense of order. Design, colors. We'll get to some of those later on. But there's a couple that I recognize and remember. That stare me right in the face. And I just realized what that is right there. I can't even pull it out. Even the most insignificant in my collection that are just hiding, that I just placed, is part of what the soul made me do. I know it resembles the lady in a different way, but it's also something else that I just picked up on a few days ago. When I looked at it, when I saw it, when I was thinking about getting back into the art. And I looked at it and I was like, that's almost like the world. The landscapes of heaven. With flags that resemble the same Within all, the same flag across the world. Equality. And that thing was done back in 2011. Took less than 20 minutes. But it was back in the most troubling times of my body. Feeling bad all the time. It was like they were stabbing me in the head to get it out of me. And I just started doing things. Yeah. The world of no hate. The world of no separation. And I'm not talking about the New World Order. That's just in your fantasy books. I'm talking about something else. All the cultures they do, but everybody's equal across the board. Sharing the same flag. The flag of love, hope, equality. Didn't see it until about a week and a half ago. When I was trying to get that motivation back and want to know why I did certain things, how I did them. Why are they so abstracted? It's not like painting a painting. It's a different kind of painting. Because anything other than that would be a photograph, right? So anything that is painted comes from the soul. And not just a picture. Something that comes from the soul. A bit of truth in everything. And I already know what that is right there. That time I had the ice pick in the right side of my head. The right side of my brain. Always looking for something and never finding it. Have to get that in a different video. It exists, but it doesn't exist. Even before I started looking, I was always looking. Like this one here. I named it the School of Knowledge to represent a school, a university in plan. Abstracted a bit with, somewhat messed up Flower of Life petals with the curves. 2010. School of Knowledge. Just nature. It's almost like they're trying to force me to paint the lady all over again. Gotta start on it really quickly though. But take my time this time, the best I can. And let the soul speak within the body to transfer it into a piece of art. What else did I do? Yeah, a lot of these down here. I know we went through the paintings in my storage facility about 4 years ago. This go around is going to be different. Boxes are loaded down with the plastic pieces, ready to be made into something else, Hopefully I'm not going to make them all look like futuristic buildings. Hopefully I can make them look sculptural. Like I can make some stuff for the wall decor, to bring the future into reality within my place, so it doesn't look like a funeral home. Great combination. Getting back into the zone. That's all I did a long time ago. Was just sit on the couch day and night on the weekends and just make art. You know, while I sipped on the buds a little bit, watching MLB Network nonstop. MLB Network, you know, History Channel, Nova. I only watched like 3 channels. 3 stations, whatever you want to call those things. When I used to just sit down and watch TV and create art. And think. And then they kept beating me down. But maybe it wasn't them. Maybe it was just my soul trying to get it out. Into the universe, as you say. Gotta go through all these and wash them. Not wash them like real hard, but just real lightly. Also need more. But that's one thing though about this. This one piece people keep asking about. Right here, the room divider. People keep asking about it. Even the construction workers that come in, or the people who are looking at the sprinkler system. Every time I go to the office keeps saying, the ones who come in while I'm at work to do maintenance or whatever, they keep talking about it. Like it's one of a kind. Well, I made it during school. I'll show you that in part of the video. I spent an entire spring break creating this while everybody else was out partying, having a good time. I chose to work spring break and do my thing, overlapping geometries, layering them down in different layers to create something. But I know exactly why they made me do this. My soul. Why they made me do this. I know exactly what this resembles. And you're gonna crap your jaws. I didn't think about this until later. And later was about a week and a half ago, when someone asked about it. Again. One of the construction workers that was fixing the ceiling back in June just happened to be in the complex. And they were working on another unit. And I got a strange knock at the door one night. And they asked about it again. They just wanted to stop in to take a look at it. Thing weighs 275 pounds. Don't ask me how I got it up the stairs all by myself. Talk about a different kind of bear hug. It's got some unfortunate damage though. I had to stay in the vehicle for about a month until I got the energy to carry it up myself. Folds up like an accordion. Folds out like something else. Objects worth a few $1,000,000 later. Don't know when. Museum quality. If I can keep it like that. Even has the felt feet that I put on it. Overlapping. Should have been different colors. Didn't have the time for that. Oh, my bad, little guy. Crap. This is house spider crap. Fold that thing up. What does it look like when it's all folded up? What does it look like when you unfold it? Another long A video. I don't know if there's one in the 1650 Bible. But there's definitely one in the 1746 Bible. eBay is a great thing for some things, for real. Maybe I need to look at that. What's 1900? What verses? Pages? But there's a few of these in here. You already know what they are. Looks like my room divider trying to make me create the map again. Just don't rip it. Sorry about the long A video, for real. Let me go ahead and do some thinking for the day. It's already 11 o'clock. Don't know what I'm going to do. Got to come up with some kind of plan. Try to get back on track. Being the artist within me. See you later.